guys, my name is Ashley Stone and I'm the admin of Kickin' in Keller, and I am so excited because today I have two guests with me from the community. Hi ladies.
Hello.
Hi. And we are also in our new Kickin' It room. We are still a little under construction, but they are my first interview today that I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about their story, because I shared actually a couple weeks ago the link about their story and it was pretty incredible. It was the top performing post in our Kickin' It community group. So you guys were really interested in this. So I'm going to introduce you now to Cyndi. Hi Cyndi.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for kicking it with us.
I know, right?
Yes, I'm so excited because I always interview business owners and the community members and their stories are so fascinating. So you guys, you're my first, so I'm so excited about that. Thank you. Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, so Cyndi, you have the top performing post in the group because you are doing some things and making some waves, and there is a movie coming out about your story. So if you want to share a little bit about the movie and who you are.
I'm Cyndi Bunch.
Yes.
I am the founder of a nonprofit called Phillips Wish, and we have a movie coming out, and it's called 5,000 Blankets, and it's based on my family's story. So it's really a beautiful movie. It's extremely raw, and it hits everybody across the board.
It had to have, because it hit in a chord with the people in the group when I shared the link.
Yes.
Because
they're all my friends. I know them.
Well, yes, and it was your friends that tagged you, and I'm like, she lives in Keller, I have to talk to her, because it really is an amazing story. So do you want to touch on a little bit about what the movie is about, the context of the story?
The movie it goes into everything I'm passionate about. Mental illness,
Yeah.
homelessness, community, and how it's so important for people from the community to support Phillips Wish, because I can't do this by myself. It takes all of us.
It takes a village. Yeah.
Yes, it takes all of us. So yeah, pretty
And
much.
so the blankets, so what was Phillips Wish?
Phillips Wish started when my son was actually 5 to 5.5, and his dad suffers from mental illness. He suffers from paranoid schizophrenia, and he would leave the house, and we would find him literally on the streets of Fort Worth, living among the homeless. Yeah, so we would go and we would drive around looking for him, and one night as I was tucking my son into bed, he asked me, "Mommy, are you warm?" And I said, "Yes, I'm warm, baby." He says, "Well, what about Daddy? Is Daddy warm?" Kind of took me back. I didn't know what to say at that point.
Yeah.
And then he said, "And what about all those other people, Mommy? What about all those other people with the tents and, the cardboard boxes? Are they warm?" And I basically told him the truth. "No, sweetie, they're not warm." And this kid would not stop. Every morning, "We got to get blankets, so we can warm them all up." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm hearing you. Okay, I'm on this." And I just started typing, literally typing. And I made flyers that told our story. And I literally stood in downtown Fort Worth, and every person that walked by, I said, "Take this, take this, take this, take this." And I remember when I got my first phone call. I got my first phone call from a girl. I call her Jenny Mac. And she says, "Oh, I'll donate blankets. Not a problem." And we've been friends ever since. She actually does my website.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like the Keller community too, this area, I'm always so amazed. Everyone does just kind of step up when there's a need, and there's something going on, or they're a nonprofit, whatever it is. I just feel like you feel that love in this community where people come forward and help. So would you like to introduce and tell us a little bit more about you and how you're involved with Cyndi and Phillips Wish?
So my name's Angie Smock, and I got involved with Phillips Wish about 8 years ago. I own a local heating and air conditioning company called Renowned Heating and Air, and I met Cyndi because we were delivering blankets to some shelters down in Lancaster.
Right.
And I was collecting stuff in the community, and she said, well, do you know, I also run a local nonprofit, Philip, and everything that she's been through, and I knew that's where I belonged. Like,
Amazing.
everything had to turn. All of our efforts started turning to help Cyndi. Our first year we did it, it actually popped up in my memories yesterday on Facebook. It was pretty amazing. Yeah. It was our first year that we did it, and we had this old red truck, and we were a small company. It was just me and my husband at the time. And it was completely full over the top. And we live here, we live down the street from her, so we're taking these truckloads over to her house and filling up her house. And it was so special to our old family. My grandkids helped, our kids helped. My son was young at the time, and he went to, they went to all the Keller schools, and they would run up to the door and get trash bags and run them back to the car. And
Amazing.
it was pretty interesting. And Cyndi had shared a goal that she had with us, and we wanted to make that come true for her. She wanted to branch out, not only help people that were homeless that needed warmth, but she wanted to help people here in Keller locally. So she told us she wanted to have a food pantry eventually, where
Oh my
people
gosh,
could just
amazing.
come in from this community
Yeah.
and just come to her home and get what they need. No red tape, no questions asked. And that inspired me. So we held the first food drive and gathered food
Yes.
from all over Keller and helped her set up her food pantry.
Yes.
And
It's
it
huge.
still runs to this
Amazing.
day.
And we started that 8 years ago.
It has been 8 years. Wow.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
So-
we
Wow.
actually got the pantry put together, and I run everything out of my garage. I don't have any warehouse space or anything like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so in my office out of my garage, so I have no overhead.
Okay. Where do you guys typically do your food drives or your events?
So our food drives, I would literally just have posting on all the neighborhood pages.
Okay.
Like for instance, the Kickin' It Keller page, but this was before that was ever in place.
Right.
So I would post on the Village Woodland Springs page, the McPherson Ranch page, Harvest
Okay.
Ranch pages, and I would go door to door collecting
Oh my
all
goodness.
this stuff. And then
Yeah.
people would drop off at my house. And then now we kind of branched out. We do different things. So in the summer, we do a water drive because water is a hard thing for the homeless people to get
Yeah.
downtown. And that when it's 100 degrees outside, you can imagine.
Right.
So we do water drives throughout the summer. We do different events for Philip Swish to support them.
I love
But
that.
the blankets is the passion that's the beginning of everything.
Yeah, that's what started
Well,
it.
it's the
Blankets.
seed. I mean, it's always, you know, that's what God will do, is just plant that seed, and you know what you guys have done with that from there. You keep watering that grass, and it keeps growing. So I love the story as a whole,
Yes.
and just how the community has come together and supported you. So now I know you guys are also looking for a donation. So speaking of the community and support on Kickin' It, that's what Kickin' It is really made for. It's made to connect the businesses, the community members, the stories, the nonprofits, so we could all come together and know about organizations like this. Because I think when you are working out of your home, or you're like, depending on what you're doing, it's hard to get the word out. Even in Keller. I mean, Keller's a growing city, and there's new people moving here all the time. So it's a great way for us to connect those stories and sharing that together. So thank you so much
And
for sharing that.
you can go to our website at
Perfect.
phillipswish.com, and you can actually donate online.
Okay.
You can find out what's going on, what's happening, when our serve days are. Pretty much find out just about everything. And the movie is opens nationwide on December 12th and 13th across the country. So get your tickets.
Yes, and where are the local theaters that are playing the movie?
AMC.
Okay.
Cinemark is a big one that's playing it all across the country. And it is the 12th and 13th, correct?
12th and 13th.
Which is a Monday and a Tuesday.
Okay.
And it's only got one showtime locally, which is 7 p.m. And I believe Roanoke and Alliance is already sold out for that Monday and Tuesday. But if you're willing to drive just a little bit, there is other local movie theaters. Yes.
Town.
My son lives in Mansfield. They have plenty of tickets, but there is closer theaters. Arlington, there's lots of theaters. It's going across the country. But what we really need, and we're hoping to reach out to everyone in Keller, is we're in need of sleeping bags. So we really are excited to promote the movie, but we need sleeping bags for the homeless this year.
And it's really costly.
Yeah.
So that's what, if you make a monetary donation, all of your monetary donations do go to Phillips Wish. We have no salary paid employees, not even myself. Not even myself. I'm actually, someone pays me to just do what I love to do. And he is a local business owner as well. And he's been good to me for the last 18 years. Thank you, Mike Bowman. I certainly appreciate you.
Amazing. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and just all that you guys are doing in our community. Honestly, it's literally people like you guys that make this whole community what it is. And so as a newcomer to this area, it warms my heart to know that there's people like this that have been here for a long time, and we hope to kind of everyone come together and keep growing what Keller is all about. So,
well, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely. So fun to kick it. And again, thank you for being my first guest in our new space.
I love
beautiful.
it. I love it.
It's beautiful.
I think it's great.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the community.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, thank you for kicking it with me, and stay tuned for all the things that we have coming up here at Kicking It. And definitely go and get those tickets for the movie that is coming up on December 12th and 13th. Correct?
Yes.
5,000 blankets.
5,000 blankets. And then check out Phillips Wish. We will share all the links of all of this so it's easy for you guys to find, and give them a follow and make sure you donate and contribute any way you can. Thanks so much for kicking it with us, guys. Bye.